morning and welcome to episode 3. My name's Glenna. My channel's called the Knotty Giraffe just because I have a thing for giraffes. I think it started when I was a little kid and I went to the Granby Zoo and this giraffe just like stuck his neck over the fence and started eating this grass out of my hand that I was holding up, and this big purple tongue just like came down, and it was, I was fascinated with them ever since. So I have quite a collection of giraffes. I think some friends counted them one time and there was something like 97 or 98 giraffes in the house. And so, I'm quite a few giraffes. If you were just wondering where the name came from. I have so much to talk about. It has been a crazy month since I recorded last. I live in Kelowna, BC, which has been in the news because of the fires that we've had here. I have trouble breathing in the smoke, so I left here August the 4th, I think it was, and went to Vancouver Island, where I hung out for camping for 3 weeks. And I'll insert a picture of what I was looking at while I was camping, and I'll also insert a picture of what my oldest son, was looking at here in Kelowna as the fire broke out in West Kelowna. And then the winds were so strong, it just blew the fire right across the lake to Kelowna. This is just some of the footage that he sent me. So I'll just add that in there. But so if you hear the sound of my air purifier going in the background, it's because the air quality is terrible. This is what Kelowna normally looks like. I'll insert a picture, and this is what it looks like right now. As you can see, the air quality is just terrible. So N95 masks to walk the dogs and and staying in knitting. But I've got lots to talk about today because I have some finished objects. I have some works in progress. I went to the Fibrations Yarn Festival in Victoria while I was on the island. It just happened to be while I was there, so it was great. And I also stopped in at the Uptown Yarns in Courtenay, and I have a little interview that I did with the owner there, who's owned the shop for like 20 years, which is amazing, I thought. So anyhow, I will just dive right in with what I'm wearing. I'm sure you're all sick of the word ranunculus right now. It seems like everybody in the world that knits is knitting them or has knit them, but kind of like the last girl in the gym class to get their period. I was slow to get around to knitting one, but I wanted a summer top and I wanted something to wear to Fibrations. So I set out to knit this. Well, I didn't set out to knit it specifically for Fibrations, but that's what ended up happening in the end. But anyhow, I want to talk about the ranunculus because I guess I just figured, because everybody's making them, that it was not a very difficult pattern to make. And really, it's not that bad. But I made the mistake of trying to do it, reading it off of a PDF on my tablet, and I kind of missed the fact that it's in 2 columns, and I did the cast on, and then I went straight into the German short rows because I didn't see the second column telling you, anyway. So had to rip it out, start again. Then I got down as far as these little eyelets here, and somehow I went off my stitch count by 1 and my eyelets were all wrong, so I ripped it out again. And at that point it was just like, I want to finish this damn thing. So I went at it, and then as I got closer to finishing, I realized that I could have it to wear to Fibrations if I sped up a bit. So this is just a little video of me speed knitting, which I am not a speed knitter. I am kind of a slow knitter. But yeah, anyhow, I did manage to get it finished, and yeah, the Fibrations Festival was just amazing. I'll insert a little video here so you can see what it was like, because wow, I didn't take much video. I should have taken more pictures, but I had 2 dogs on leashes. I have 2 dogs, and camping with them in my little tiny boulder trailer for 3 weeks was, you know, starting to get a little old. But anyhow, yeah, so here's the video footage that I did take. So I forgot to mention what I had made my ranunculus in. So I will post the yarn here, but it's kind of a funny story. I initially bought the yarn to make a pair of overalls for a horse. Not a real horse, a horse that I made for my son's partner who loves horses. And yeah, and I thought that it would look really nice as a top. So yeah, that's what I did. So next on my list, if you happen to watch the disaster of episode 2 and actually came back, thank you. I knit the White Stag sweater by Drops. That's a free pattern. And I was all happy that I had it finished, and when I held it up to the camera to show it, I could see that where I had changed balls of yarn, the color was different from the different dye lots. So my initial plan was I was just going to rip it out and all the way back to where the color changed. And then I started thinking, and I thought, well, I'm a stained glass artist, and that's one of my jobs. And I learned from doing stained glass that when you make a mistake, sometimes you can turn that mistake into something totally different and beautiful. So I decided to embrace that idea with my knitting, and I did that with my White Stag sweater. And I just did a double stitch around the line where it was, and you know what? Now it looks like it's part of the design. So I'm super happy. I mean, it's a sweater that I'm only going to wear at Christmas time. It's not like it's going to be part of my everyday wardrobe. So, you know, to wear at Christmas, I think it's perfect, and I'm super happy with it. So I'm taking that as a win. So that's finished object number 1. I believe I knit the size large. It comes in like all sorts of different sizes, and I knit the size large. My gauge was pretty bang on. It's meant to be a fitted sweater, and so it is quite fitted. Here, I'll slip it on so you can see it, because it really is. It turned out beautiful, and I was worried about the yarn being kind of prickly. I will put the name of the yarn down. It was the Beaches and Beaches. It's a wool, and I thought it might be too picky, but it turned out. So yeah, you can see where, well, it's kind of, my ranunculus is all lumping underneath, but anyway, you can see it's quite a fitted sweater, and yeah, the angle's all wrong. Anyway, that's it. That's how it turned out. We'll see if I can get this off without, you know, revealing my bra to the world here. There we go. Okay. So yeah, so that's finished object number 2. So yeah, ranunculus was 1. White Stag sweater finally done, number 2. Third on the list for finished objects are my, still on the blockers hanging from my ceiling fan. I did just plain vanilla socks. I used the, oh, you can see where the sunlight's coming in now. Yeah, I used the, oh, can't remember the name of the yarn. I'll put it in, but I know the colorway was called Paint Box. And then I used some of my own hand-dyed purple just for the toe, and it's the first time I've done a little pop of color on the cuff, and I kind of regret that I did. I wish I had just done the whole cuff in purple, and I wish I had done the heels in purple too, but I didn't want to, I didn't want to redo the second sock once I had already finished the first one. So yeah, so they're done. I love the feel of this yarn. They're nice and soft. So I'm looking forward to wearing them. So my next project I have on the go is the Trinigan by Andrea Mowry. I have it in this lovely project bag that I picked up from the thrift store in Campbell River. I think it was 50 cents, and it's great. It's all lined on the inside and got little pockets to keep the wool in, and it's lovely. Yeah, so I am knitting the size 2 of this because it's meant to be very oversized, and looks like the one that Andrea is wearing in the picture is a size 2 as well, so I didn't want it much bigger than that. So anyhow, yeah, the pattern calls for spin cycle yarns, which if you happen to watch, I think it was episode 1 where I talked about it, because I had just bought the yarn for it. I tried to find the spin cycle yarn here in Kelowna, and when I did, the price was $48 for one skein of the contrasting colors. And so, the pattern calls for 3, so that's $150 just for the contrast color, and the main color skeins, I think they were like 38 or something like that each, and it called for 6 of them. So yeah, you do the math, and it's like, may as well mortgage the house or something to be able to afford that yarn. So I was trying to find something different that was more affordable, that would look nice. And I happened to be in the yarn shop in Vernon, and I came across this Malabrigo, and oh my gosh, it's working out perfectly. It's I used the color Bobby Blue for the main color. You can see how far I've got here. I've just cast on the ribbing at the bottom, and I'm just getting into the rounds here of the colors. But you can see I used the Bobby Blue for the main color, and then Anniversario is the name of the other color for the contrast. And it is turning out really nice. It's super soft. I'm very excited about it. I'll be glad when I get to wear it. I'm hoping to have it finished by the time I record episode 4 at the end of September. But yeah, it's, I can't remember if I said, but yeah, I'm knitting the size 2, and yeah, it's just a really, really fun, easy pattern. Very, very simple to follow. I didn't do the I-cord cast on. I just went for a regular rib. I like the regular rib look better. I find, I just, personal preference. And yeah, other than that, I haven't made any modifications, and so far so good. So yeah, hopefully I can show you the finished product by the end of September. So my next work in progress is a pair of socks. I am using the Lichen and Lace is the name of the, oh wow, that's that's what the cake looks like. There's the label, Lichen and Lace, and the colorway is called Garland. I picked it up when I was in Nelson, BC camping in July, And I decided that I would put in some Malabrigo, the color Oro, for the cuff. And the pattern I'm using is Hermione's Everyday Socks. You can see it's textured. It's like a sort of like a modified seed stitch. It's a free pattern available on Ravelry. Yeah, Hermione's Everyday Socks. And that's all I've got done so far, the first sock. But yeah, hopefully I will have them finished by the end of September, because I bought some new sock yarn while I was away. Oh, yes, of course, in case you're curious, I always use magic loop when I knit socks. I like that better than just plain circular needles. I find with the little circular needles, I don't like how short the little end is. It's fine when you're knitting in the right direction, but when you have to go back on the heel flap and you're knitting back, I don't like it. I just prefer the magic loop for knitting in the round. But yeah, I just love the feel of the lichen and lace. So while I was camping, because I like to buy yarn and support local yarn shops whenever I go traveling, I picked up some more lichen and lace yarns from the Uptown Yarns store. I got this one here, which I'm super excited about. It's looking more orangey, but I thought it was just such a nice fall color. What's the colorway called? It's lichen and lace. You can see that. It's called rhubarb is the colorway. And yeah, and then to go with it, I got some more lichen and lace as a contrast color. And yeah, this one is called hack walnut. Oh, dark walnut? Hack walnut? I don't know. My eyes are really bad. It looks like hack walnut. Oh, black walnut. Oh, geez. Okay, yeah. All right, black walnut. Yeah, as a contrasting color to go with it. And I think that'll make some very nice socks. Oh, there's my old dog Finnegan, just walking around. And then when I was at Fibrations, well, you know what? The truth of it is, what happened was I had cast on the socks I showed you, these ones. I'd cast on the cuff. I'd gotten as far as the end of the cuff, and I couldn't find the ball of rhubarb. You know what it's like when you're camping and you've got like stuff and you know, basically living out of your car. I have this tiny little 10-foot trailer that, you know, is basically a glorified bed on wheels with a cooktop. And so anyway, I could not find the cake of rhubarb yarn anywhere. And I you know, anyway, I looked and looked, couldn't find it. So while I was at Fibrations in Victoria, I had the cuff with me because I hadn't started this part. And so I went looking for other sock yarns that would match with the Oro color. And I found this. I tried to roll it back up and I didn't do a very good job, but I'm super excited about this. It's another Color Story yarn, which is the name of what I just finished. A pair of socks was Color Story yarn. This colorway is called Hummingbird. And yeah, I'm dying to get into, oh, there goes my captain's clock again. I'm just dying to get into this one. But anyhow, and then also, even though my rule is that I can't buy sock yarn until I finish the pair of socks that I'm working on, or I mean, until I'm well underway on the pair that I'm working on, then I can buy for the next. But I saw this and it's something that I've never seen before in Kelowna. It's a really weird label. It's called Ginger Snap. And the color is called Woodsy. And it's, yeah, I thought that looks so cool and it would go really good with the gold. So yeah, I couldn't help myself and I bought that. And then I bought one other thing too. Oh God, what is it? You get into, it's, yeah, I'm that way when I go to the glass store to buy glass for my windows. I go in looking for something specific and then I'll see a sheet of glass or something and I'm just so inspired by it that I end up buying it so that I can make a different window with it as well. But yeah, I ended up buying this. It is the first time I've ever been able to buy like little minis like that, because they just don't sell them in the yarn shops around where I live. And I saw this little package and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I would really, really like to have one of those, and I'm not sure what I'll do with them. Probably more socks, or yeah, I don't know, maybe hold it double with something else, because it is considered I think it's like a bloom fade or something it's called. So you know, there might be enough there if I hold it double stranded with, you know, just one solid color. I could probably make, I don't know, make something out of it. But yeah, I was pretty excited about it. So the one thing that I really loved about being away camping was how much reading I did. I normally read when I eat, and I like to read when I knit. I have this, where is it? Oh, there it is. I have this great, oh, it's got headphones and all sorts of stuff attached to it. My house is a mess at the moment, so yeah, anyway. I have this little book stand that I got that holds my books. So it's really just a matter of, you know, once you do it for a little bit, you get used to it, where, you know, you look down to read and then you look at your knitting, you look back, you can remember where you are, and your brain almost fills in the words as that it saw that you hadn't quite registered yet, if that makes sense. Anyway, I love to read when I knit. And so I did a lot of reading while I was away. I don't know if any of you are readers, but I've been really into Richard Wagamese lately. Right now I'm reading his book called The Medicine Walk. While I was away, I read Indian Horse, and I read his previous book, Ragged Company. I think was one of my favorite books I've read in a long time. If you're a reader at all and you haven't read any of Richard Wagamese, you need to check him out, because he's just amazing. And then I also read this fabulous book by BC author Frances Peck. She's about to launch her next novel. Oh, there goes my other clock. That's the bird clock going, which means the captain clock's probably going to go in a minute too, because it's a few minutes ahead. But yeah, sorry, Frances Peck's book called The Broken Places. Wow. It's all about what would happen if a major earthquake was to hit Vancouver. And it was really on my mind as I traveled through Vancouver and then went over to Vancouver Island camping for 3 weeks. I just kept thinking about it, but I love that book. The characters in it are just, it follows the storyline of like 6 different characters during this earthquake. And wow, it is just such a good read. If you have a chance to, if you can find it, it's from a smaller press, so it's not as easy to find, but wow, fabulous book if you have a chance to pick it up. So next up, I had a chance to stop by Uptown Yarns in Courtenay while I was there, and I got to speak with the owner, Jen. Here's a little clip of the interview I did with her. Okay, hi, so this is Jen.
Yes.
At Uptown Yarns in Courtenay.
That's right.
Yeah, so how long have you had the store here?
I have had the store for a little over 23 years.
Oh my gosh.
So a fairly long time.
Yeah,
I was 20 when I started, and I'm 43 now, so I've been doing it for a while.
Wow,
And,
this is, we've got a lot of lovely yarn here.
Yeah, we have fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, lots of favorite yarns. Probably favorite pattern at the moment is probably the Sunday sweater by Petite Knit.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I've got it over here if you want to see it.
Yes, I would love to.
So this is the Sunday sweater, and it is really simple, but really, really, really pretty.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I did a combination of 2 yarns together. I did the Drops Air and the Drops Kid Silk put together, double-stranded on 7mm. And
so
I like
it would be a fairly quick knit
pretty
then.
quick knit.
Yeah.
I like it so much. I'm going to make another one in a different color for fall.
Yeah.
And and then other than that, at the moment, what else have I got on the go? I have another one of her designs called the Anchors sweater. I have that on the go. I have a hat for a girlfriend on the go, knitted in the pure cashmere.
Oh, can I see?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's pretty fine though. It's taking a bit of time, but it's quite lovely.
Oh, neat.
So that's.
And is there a very vibrant knitting community here in Courtenay?
Yeah, there's a pretty vibrant community, and lots of fun people doing knitting. A lot of crocheters right now. Crocheting has really taken off again. Yeah. And so we have a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So it is.
Okay, so your hours here are,
we are
11
Monday to Saturday, 11 till 4.
Yeah.
Closed holidays.
Right.
And but yeah, that's the rundown. So yeah, come say hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So on to what's next. I have a few projects that I've been eyeing that I'm quite interested in, especially as fall is approaching. It would be really nice to, get into the cozy fall sweater mode. One of them is the sweater called Helga. I saw it watching a YouTuber called Charlotte. Her channel's called Charlotte Makes. I don't know if you've had a chance to check her out or not, but especially her episode 1 is amazing because she has this like parade of sweaters that she goes through, showing pretty much everything that she's knit since the pandemic started. And there's quite a few different ones. It's I really enjoyed her episode 1. It's fabulous if you haven't seen it. Anyhow, this sweater, the Helga, looks like it would be just gorgeous. It's a cable knit, and I'm thinking that I could probably reuse the yarn that I used for my Felix cardigan that I'm not too happy with. If I just frog that, I could probably reuse the yarn for the Helga. So that's on my radar. Also on my radar is the pipe sweater. Well, what's it called? The striped pipe sweater. I saw that, and it was on, what's her name now? True Lane's site, and it looks like a lot of fun. And also on my list of possibilities is another one that Charlotte shows in her episode 3 called the Alice Top by Petite Knit. It's just a quick summer knit, and I'm thinking I might have time for one more summer knit before the season changes, especially here in the Okanagan where summer can go on until October. And last but not least, the one that I'm most dying to make is called the Soldano, I believe. I'll put a picture of it in, and I've had my eye on this one for a long time. So we'll see what I have in my yarn stash and whether or not I can tackle any of those. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now, I guess. So before I go, I do just want to share this photo with you of this guy named Cam from the Kelowna Farmers Market, who has found a very creative way to deal with tangled yarn. I don't know about you, but sometimes I've had these like just rat's nests of yarn that I don't know what to do with. And Cam has found a way to just creatively weave it. And he actually lets people come into his booth for 25 cents and weave away their frustrations in life. And yeah, so anyhow, I hope you have a good month of September, and I will catch up with you at the end of it. All right, thanks and happy knitting. Bye.